Alright, well, I decided last week to make a night out of Grave Encounters 1 and 2, considering Netflix just recently got Grave Encounters 2. I really like found footage films, but I'll be damned if I was going to actually go out and buy Grave Encounters 1. So I figured, hey, it's on, why not? This was one film I was curious of, but with the Paranormal Activity craze, I figured this would probably just be that. And I was kind of right. This film is essentially Paranormal Activity, but laced with ghost adventures, to the point where even the characters in this movie look like the people in that show. The host of this one even looks like Zach Baggins from the show. Even acts like him. And yes, I watched that show more so just for laughs. I kind of believe in paranormal and the supernatural and all that, but reality shows showcasing it, to me, it's just more of a farce than anything, so. Mostly because I don't know what to believe. You can't really believe it. TV. TV could easily be altered. But I digress. That's a whole other rant entirely. I'm here to rant about Grave Encounters. I'm not going to talk about it too long. This film, as I said, is basically just found footage version of Ghost Adventures. The only difference is, they decided they were going to investigate a mental asylum. They get locked in, and as they go through the night, I don't even know how to put it. It's like the building comes alive, and the mental patients start coming to them as ghosts, and it's as if they are slowly losing insanity, or slowly losing sanity. I feel like I've lost my insanity with this film, and my sanity. Honestly, it was not that bad a film. Could have been better, could have been worse. It's basically just your typical found footage film. As the night progresses, it's basically just staying night. Come like 8 or 9 in the morning, it's supposed to be daylight. There is no daylight. It goes on for days, apparently. And that's where things do start getting a little unbelievable to me at this point, even for something like that. Mostly because of these two reasons. First of all, I want to know what kind of cameras they're using and what kind of batteries. Because, damn, they lasted a long time. They claim in the very beginning of the film that there was 80 hours of material to go through. I want to know how those cameras lasted for days upon days without needing new batteries. Because you never see them carrying any equipment like batteries. I also want to know how some of the night vision cameras got in there. Towards the end, they find a tunnel that's supposed to link buildings. They go down there. There's a night vision camera down there, a static night vision camera. How? How is that possible when they apparently never went down there? I don't understand how that was possible. Those are my two main gripes. I remember seeing a review on Apollo 18, and every time I see one of these, I now just go, oh, well, Space Wizards, like one of the comments on the video. Blame the Space Wizards for Apollo 18, so I'll blame the Space Wizards for this movie. I don't know, I don't really know how to take some of those faults to the film. I understand, oh, well, it's gonna happen, but it's like the latest, what was it, Paranormal Activity 3, where they were using old VHS cameras. How are they shooting all night like that? That's what I want to know. I haven't seen the film, I'm just basing that off of what I've heard. And yeah, that's basically just this. It's like, how are they shooting for so long? How are they getting the various shots, like in the tunnels, when I don't think they ever went down in the tunnels. They never showed it, they never said it. But basically, as the film progresses, the main characters begin to act more like patients in a mental asylum. One of them, Matt, gets abducted, I guess you could say, by one of the ghosts, and they eventually find him. And he's wearing a gown, he's got a name bracelet and everything, and everybody else gets the name bracelets at one point too. And yeah, he just starts losing his sanity, saying that they'll let them go once they're cured. So that's basically the whole concept of the film. They're stuck there because, I don't know, I guess the doctors are keeping them there, even though the ghosts of the people that died seem to be the ones holding them there and terrorizing them throughout the days of being there. The production on it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's just your typical found footage film. Actors holding the cameras, some steady cams here and there. The audio levels were pretty good. Sometimes they were talking really low, and it was hard to pick up, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. There were plenty of night vision shots, which were nice. They had that slight green tint to it. The main issue that I had with this was that they really relied on some CG effects after a while for the ghosts themselves. You can tell that they clearly were actors, but then they would just do that face shift thing where the eyes would just go pure black and the mouth would extend out here. And basically just be like a black hole. I didn't really think that was entirely necessary. A lot of what they did could have been done with practical effects. Especially just like white contact lenses. I understand it's for effect, but I don't know. I didn't like it too much. There were some good practical effects. At one point, they were sitting there, camera is turned off, or something, the light goes off, and then there's like black arms coming through the walls and the ceiling. And I thought that looked nice for what it was. It gave sort of a supernatural haunted house kind of vibe to the film and the settings. The only other issue that I really had with the film, mostly because I don't see how it would be possible, other than the supernatural, I guess, but I didn't like it too much, I didn't buy into it, was that the mental institute actually would start shifting. Like, where the exit was, it was no longer there. They would go down a hallway, and it'd be a completely different hallway. The haunting, that's what it was. The building itself and the haunting, I believe, kept changing around. And that was an interesting take for that film, but considering this one is based more on reality, I didn't like it too much. It just didn't seem to work out too well. Everything just started hitting them slowly. The first thing that you see really is a wheelchair moving very slightly. And the further it goes, the more demonic everything seems to become. It's not necessarily that they're losing their insanity, it's more like the victims that died there were more demonic than anything. There were a lot of growling scenes where it would just be a loud roar in the background. It was definitely interesting. It was enjoyable for what it was. As far as the found footage film goes, I mean, if you enjoy found footage movies, this one does have some tension. It does leave you wondering what direction they're going to go in. It's not bad, it's not that great, but it's tolerable, especially if you have Netflix. I mean, if you can just sit down and watch it for free, or maybe like $1 or $2 somewhere, I would suggest it. I mean, overall, I would give it maybe a 6.5 out of everything. It's not a bad film, but there were a good number of times where it felt like it was padded out, and I was checking the clock. I kept checking how much longer the film had. So it was, I think, an hour and 33 minutes total, and it felt like it. It felt like it went on a little longer than that. So I'm going to give it a 6.5. I mean, it's not bad if you enjoy the found footage films. If you enjoy Blair Witch style filmmaking with more of the modern Paranormal Activity take, you might enjoy it. I'm not a big Paranormal Activity fan, obviously. I haven't really watched any of them. I've seen some of one. I have one, actually. I just didn't like it too much. But this one, I don't know. You might enjoy it, you might not. If you have Netflix, definitely check it out. It's not bad. Decent acting. Production's alright. Audio's good. Story, it could have been a little better. So, I don't know. Found footage fans, take note. You might like it.